The G10, by the way, really cool. It's got that nice pattern, that nice design sort of etched into it. Not etched, but, you know, kind of milled into it. Really cool looking, and it actually does add to the traction. Moving it side to side like this, your finger gets caught in that little groove. It's nice. Hey my friends, it's a late Boy Scout bringing you my review of the Kershaw Thermite, a Rick Hinderer design, and a Chinese produced, very affordable EDC knife. EDC or EDC Plus? I would classify this as EDC Plus given its size. And reference my old EDC Plus video in order to understand what I mean by that. The actual title is The Knives I Buy and Why EDC Plus. Best knife sizes or something along those lines. Look for it in annotation around here, perhaps, and maybe in the sidebar over there. Anyway, yes, the Kershaw Thermite, again, a very cool knife from the 2013 lineup. Pretty awesome, actually, and I was a little wishy-washy about it when I first got my hands on it, and also when I saw it in pictures and so forth. Wasn't real excited about it. Spent some time, got my hands on it, spent some time with it, really decided I liked it, and you're going to find out, how it actually does in real world testing, cardboard, paper, carving some wood, and all that. As this review progresses, because I'm going to show you some of that footage. You're going to see how it did. I'll give you sort of the feedback on how it performed. But let's describe the knife first and give you some points about ergonomics, about design, things that I really like about it. So we can see that this is a flipper design and that it is spring assisted. Okay, I could kind of take or leave the spring assist. It works well for this knife. I kind of like that. But it is what it is, and it's pretty cool. Blade shape and blade design are also pretty cool. I like the swedge up here, the ground away swedge there, and the cool effect that it has there. That feels like it kind of goes narrow and then thick again. Doesn't really do that, but sort of does. Spanto tip, Rick Hinderer Spanto tip there, meaning that all of this is hollow ground over here, but when we get up to the tip, that's actually flat ground. So, it's kind of a Rick Hinderer innovation there. It's pretty cool. Thumb studs on there that I could probably take or leave. They work fine. They get the blade out, but they don't serve as a blade stop or anything. And honestly, I think the blade would look better without them a little bit, and it would work just as well given the flipper that you have there. So that's a little point worth mentioning, I guess. Jimping is big and broad and rounded. Okay, so don't expect that to dig into your thumb as you bear down on materials, but that might be a good thing. If you have gloves on, it might be a little bit easier. And we do have some texturing on the back strap here, sort of an extension of that same type of jimping. So that's cool. I mean, it kind of carries the theme along throughout there on that back strap, which also means that we don't have full flow-through construction, which isn't a surprise for a speed-safe knife from Kershaw. A liner on one side, and the speed-safe mechanism will be nested within the G10 and that liner on this side. The G10, by the way, really cool. It's got that nice pattern, that nice design sort of etched into it. Not etched, but, kind of milled into it. Really cool looking, and it actually does add to the traction. Moving it side to side like this, your finger gets caught in that little groove. It's nice. It is pretty nice. The construction, again, we've got, what do we have in here? It looks like, it's hard to see. It's hard to tell, actually. Yeah, we have phosphor bronze bushings, it looks like. Lots of pocket lint, as you can plainly tell, because I have been carrying this quite a bit. Pocket clip is repositionable, and it's deep carry, by the way. So you're going to disappear. This thing's going to disappear into your pocket like that deep. That's awesome. But it is repositionable from here to there, and there to here. And I have not tried mounting it using the given screws to this side or that side, and I don't know, but given the fact that it's deeper, I don't know that you're going to have any issue attaching it there or there. Guys who have tried that, please chime in the comments section and let us know if that's an issue, if you have to get new screws or anything like that from Kershaw. It is a frame lock knife. It does have this over travel stop here, preventing you from pushing that frame out too far, thereby bending the frame and rendering the lock, somewhat useless. This particular one that I got a hold of does not have a perfect front to back lockup. Let me see if you can hear it. I think you can hear that in the microphone there. Yeah, not a perfect lockup. It's been fine, it's performed fine, and that's the only reason I haven't sent it back to Kershaw or tried to exchange it in any way. Again, in the testing that I've done, it hasn't gotten any worse, and it has not failed on me. So, would I like it to be solidly locked up? Absolutely I would. Given the price though, Chinese-made Kershaw, I'm really not that surprised, and I'm frankly not that disappointed. I don't mind it that much. The side-to-side lockup, it has some slight movement after the use I put it through, but it's, generally speaking, it's pretty nicely built and holding together pretty nice. Pretty good ergonomic knife as well. Man, just a lot of great features on this here Thermite, and if you have not looked at it yet, you might want to give it a good consideration. Now let's talk about the use that I put this knife through. I wanted to test the edge, sort of set a base standard for how that edge did by slicing some paper and making sure that it started with a nice sharp edge, which it did. Performed very well, slicing paper, not that that's a hard task or anything, but it shaved away at it pretty nicely. Moved on to some cardboard, which it did better on than I kind of imagined it would. I figured that more of a flat ground blade shape, like a full flat ground blade shape, would do better through materials like cardboard. But I was wrong. I think maybe there's a little bit of drag on the full flat ground blades because some of the other ones that I did that day had a little bit of drag. But the hollow grind, rather, on the Rick Hinderer designed Thermite here, it's really got 2 points of contact on that cardboard, which is the cutting edge and then the shoulder, sort of, I don't know if you call it the shoulder, but the point, sort of the grind point where the stock turns into the hollow ground blade. Those are your sort of 2 contact points with this blade. And that's pretty much it. And as you push your way through there, those are the only 2 areas dragging on the cardboard, making it possible for you to get some pretty fast, pretty clean slices done. And yeah, the Thermite performed admirably, really well on cardboard. Moved on to some softer wood and carved away at that, really with the point of kind of testing the edge, but also testing the ergonomics of the knife, determining if it's got hot spots in hand. As you bear down on that and really kind of push hard and use your weight and all that to dig into the material, does the knife bite you back? That's kind of the question I want to answer with that exercise. And no, this one really does not. It does pretty nice in hand in bearing down on some of those harder materials. Yeah, and that's not a big surprise either because, again, this is very much an EDC Plus sized folding knife. And if you are one of those guys that you got to have your larger knife, this one might be small for you actually if you're into larger knives. But if you like your larger knives, I get why you do. I'll just say that. I mean, I prefer smaller ones just because of the ease of carry and so forth. But when it comes to larger knives, it's much more comfortable to do extended cutting with, and that's just a fact. It's just a fact. Now let's put this knife up against a handful of other great EDC Plus sized knives. So there's the Kershaw Thermite. Good knife for the price at around, what was it, 40-ish, something like that, made in China. How about the Kershaw Blur? That's one that, good knife overall. I've had some trust issues with it given a cut that I got using this knife after a lock failure. Not this exact one, but another one. That's neither here nor there, really. But that's very close in size and better steel as far as the blade material is concerned. But, a great EDC Plus size knife. What else have we got? How about the Rat Model 1? An old standby that is getting caught on its own lanyard. Sorry about that. Failing at the deployment. Rat Model 1, also a great EDC Plus size knife, just excels in so many ways. And we might as well throw in the Spyderco Tenacious, which is a direct competitor with that Rat Model 1. Also a great knife in its own right. While we're bringing Spydercos in, might as well go ahead and bring in the Manix 2 Blue. Lightweight, very comparable to the Manix in size and ergonomics, and even blade shape, pretty comparable. The weight is just very nice and light on this. It's BD1 steel, which I have not tested extensively, but I've heard great things about. How about, since we got it here, maybe the Bird Carat 2. Oh, that's a full flat ground version. Really cool knife. And way out of the price range of the Thermite, but there is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. We've got a lot of Spydercos in this lineup. What about a fixed blade option? Why not? How about the Cold Steel Spike? Yeah, I've reviewed this knife. Look for my review of it. If your jurisdiction allows it, if your system can take it, if you can handle a fixed blade knife, yeah, why not? Cold Steel Spike, pretty cool one. All right, so there's a whole bunch. They're varying prices, you know, 40-ish, 60-ish, 50, 60-ish, something like that. Oh, I don't know, 35, 70-ish, 35, 125, 130, something like that, and 25-ish, something like that. So a whole lot of great EDC Plus size knives for varying tasks. If you enjoy that size of knife, whole lot of great ones out there. The Thermite stacks up pretty well against them, though, I'd say. So we covered the quality issues that I saw with my particular specimen of the Thermite. Now, if we discount that and throw that out and say, well, what if we got a perfect one? How would I like this knife? Would I really give this like a 5-star rating? Pretty good. It would be a pretty good rating. I would really like this knife, actually. Given the frame lock, given the construction, given the toughness of this knife. It is HCR13 MOV steel, but that is right on par with the price you're paying for the knife. I think you get quite a lot of knife and some great design in the Kershaw Thermite. Well, guys, that has been my review. I thank you very much for tuning in and watching and sticking around towards the end. I'm the Late Boy Scout. We'll see you later.